The Desperate Call. The story begins on the peaceful trading world of Valoria Prime, where Ambassador Kira leads the diplomatic council. The planet is known for its crystal gardens and gentle inhabitants who have lived in harmony for centuries. Their technology focuses on healing and agriculture, not warfare. A massive alien fleet appears at the edge of their system. The raiders call themselves the Iron Claw and demand complete surrender within 3 days. Their ships are armed with weapons that can crack planets. The Valorians have no military, no weapons, and no way to fight back. Kira calls an emergency meeting. The council discusses their options. They could surrender and become slaves. They could try to evacuate, but most would die. Or they could ask for help from other worlds. The problem is that most civilized worlds have treaties against interfering in conflicts. The Galactic Union has rules about non-interference. Only one option remains: the humans of Earth. Everyone knows the stories about Earth. It is a death world where everything tries to kill everything else. The humans who come from there are considered crazy by most aliens. They volunteer for dangerous jobs. They laugh at things that terrify other species. Most aliens avoid them. But humans have a reputation. When they make a promise, they keep it. When someone asks for help, they come running. The problem is that asking Earth for help is not done lightly. Humans always deliver, but they do it their way. Kira sends the message to Earth. She explains the situation simply. Valoria Prime needs help. They have 3 days before the Iron Claw attacks. They have no weapons and no military. Many will die if no help comes. The response comes back within hours. It is short and direct. Help is coming. Hold your position. Do not surrender. Captain Stone, Earth Defense Force. The Valorians do not know what to expect. Earth has no major fleet in this sector. The nearest human colony is weeks away by normal travel. How can they possibly help in time? Strange readings appear on their sensors 2 days later. Ships are dropping out of hyperspace at the edge of the system. But these are not the sleek vessels of other civilized worlds. These ships look different. They are covered in armor plating. Their hulls show signs of battle damage that has been repaired many times. The human fleet is small, only 12 ships. The Iron Claw has over 200 vessels, each one larger than the human ships. The Valorians fear that the humans have come to die bravely but uselessly. Captain Stone contacts Valoria Prime. His voice is calm and steady. He asks for the exact location of all Iron Claw ships. He wants to know their weapon types and shield frequencies. He studies their formation patterns. The Iron Claw commander notices the human ships and laughs. He sends a message to both the humans and the Valorians. These 12 tiny ships cannot stop his massive fleet. The humans should leave now or be destroyed with the planet they came to protect. Captain Stone's reply is simple. This is your only warning. Leave this system immediately or face the consequences. The Iron Claw commander is insulted. How dare these Death World primitives threaten him? He orders his fleet to prepare for battle. The attack on Valoria Prime will begin early. He will destroy the human ships first to make an example. Kira watches from the planet's surface as the two fleets face each other in space. The human ships look so small against the massive Iron Claw fleet. She begins to wonder if asking Earth for help was a mistake. These brave humans will die because of her request. But something strange happens. The human ships do not form a defensive line. They do not try to protect each other. Instead, they spread out and begin moving in patterns that make no sense to anyone watching. Captain Stone's voice comes over the communication channel one more time. He is not speaking to the Iron Claw anymore. He is talking to his own ships. Remember, we promised to help these people. We keep our promises. Show them what happens when you threaten the innocent. Show them why you never ask Earth for help lightly. The human ships power up their weapons, but these are not normal energy beams or missile launchers. The technology is something that most aliens have never seen before. The weapons charge with a sound that makes the space around them ripple. Kira realizes that the stories about humans were all true. They are not just brave or crazy. They are something else entirely. They are predators from a world that taught them to be the most dangerous thing in the darkness. The battle is about to begin. The storm unleashed. The Iron Claw fleet moves forward in perfect formation. Their commander, Warlord Thane, believes this will be an easy victory. His ships have conquered dozens of worlds. These 12 human vessels cannot possibly stand against his might. Captain Stone watches the enemy approach on his bridge. His crew works quietly at their stations. There is no panic, no shouting, no fear. These humans have faced worse odds before. They know what they came here to do. The first Iron Claw ships open fire. Bright energy beams lance across space toward the human vessels. But the human ships are no longer where they were a moment ago. They move with impossible speed and grace, dancing between the enemy shots like they can see the future. Warlord Thane frowns. His weapons should have hit their targets. His gunners are the best in the Iron Claw fleet. How did those small ships move so fast? Captain Stone gives his first order. Begin the hunt. The human ships split into groups of 3. Each group targets a different section of the Iron Claw formation, but they do not attack in the way most civilized species fight battles. They do not exchange fire at long range or try to break through enemy lines. Instead, they do something that terrifies every alien who sees it. They charge straight into the enemy fleet. The Iron Claw ships are massive and heavily armored. They are designed to fight other large vessels in organized formations. They are not prepared for what happens next. The first human ship, called the Stormbringer, flies directly into the center of an Iron Claw battle group. The enemy ships turn to surround it, thinking they have trapped their prey. They fire everything they have at the small human vessel. But the Stormbringer does not try to escape. Instead, it activates weapons that no alien has ever seen before. Rings of pure energy expand outward from the ship like ripples in water. Every Iron Claw vessel caught in these rings simply stops working. Their engines die. Their weapons go silent. Their shields fail. The crews inside are not killed, but they are helpless. The Stormbringer has somehow shut down their technology without destroying their ships. Warlord Thane watches in horror as 20 of his best ships become floating metal coffins. He demands to know what weapon the humans used. His science officers have no answer. Human technology is completely different from anything in their databases. The second group of human ships attacks from above. Their leader, the Night Hunter, moves through the Iron Claw fleet like a ghost. It appears behind enemy ships, fires once, then vanishes before they can respond. Each shot does not destroy the target. Instead, it does something worse. The Iron Claw ships begin to turn on each other. Their crews are unharmed, but their computers think that nearby Allied ships are enemies. They start firing at their own fleet, while the Night Hunter watches from the shadows. Chaos spreads through the Iron Claw formation. Ships that have fought together for years suddenly become enemies. Warlord Thane screams orders, but his communications are being jammed by human technology he cannot understand. The third group of human ships does the most frightening thing of all. They simply disappear. One moment they are visible on every scanner. The next moment, they are gone completely. Not cloaked or hidden. Actually gone, as if they never existed. Iron Claw sensors cannot find any trace of them. Then the missing ships reappear inside the Iron Claw formation. They have somehow teleported past all defenses and armor. They are now firing from within the enemy fleet, targeting the most important vessels. The Iron Claw flagship shudders as human weapons strike its hull. But these weapons do not try to break through armor or overwhelm shields. Instead, they target specific systems with surgical precision. The flagship's main engines explode. Its command computers shut down. Its weapon arrays go dark one by one. Warlord Thane realizes that his massive ship is being taken apart piece by piece. The humans are not trying to kill his crew. They are trying to capture his vessel intact. They want him alive. On Valoria Prime, Ambassador Kira watches the battle with amazement. The human fleet of 12 ships is tearing apart an enemy force 20 times larger. But they are doing it without massive explosions or pointless destruction. Every move the humans make is calculated and precise. They disable rather than destroy. They capture rather than kill. This is not the mindless violence that other species expect from Deathworlders. This is something far more terrifying. This is what happens when the most dangerous predators in the galaxy decide to be merciful. Captain Stone's voice echoes across all frequencies. Both the Iron Claw and the Valorians can hear him clearly. Warlord Thane, your fleet is defeated. Your ships are disabled. Your crew is alive because we chose to let them live. You have one chance to withdraw with honor. The price of mercy. Warlord Thane stares at his command screens in disbelief. In less than 30 minutes, his mighty Iron Claw fleet has been reduced to floating scrap metal. Most of his ships cannot move or fight. His carefully planned invasion has become a disaster. But the human captain is offering him a chance to leave. No other species has ever shown mercy to the Iron Claw. They have always fought to the death or surrendered completely. This offer confuses and frightens Thane more than the battle itself. Captain Stone continues his transmission. You have 60 seconds to respond. Accept our terms or face the consequences. We will not offer mercy twice. Thane's officers urge him to accept. They have seen what human weapons can do. If the humans decide to stop being merciful, the entire Iron Claw fleet will be destroyed in minutes. There is no shame in retreating from an impossible fight. But Thane's pride will not let him surrender. He has spent his entire life building his reputation as a conqueror. How can he return home and admit that 12 human ships defeated his entire fleet? His rivals would destroy him politically. His own crews might mutiny. He makes the worst decision of his life. I reject your offer, humans. If you want us to leave, you will have to destroy us completely. The Iron Claw does not retreat. The communication channel falls silent. On his bridge, Captain Stone closes his eyes for a moment. He had hoped the enemy commander would be smart enough to accept mercy. Now he will have to show Thane why that was a mistake. All ships, Stone says quietly. The enemy has chosen death over honor. Switch to lethal protocols. Show them what we were trying to spare them from. The change in the human fleet is immediate and terrifying. The ships that had been moving carefully and precisely now become something else entirely. They are no longer hunters showing restraint. They are predators unleashed. The Stormbringer stops using its disabling weapons. Instead, it fires beams of pure energy that cut through Iron Claw ships like they are made of paper. Entire vessels are sliced in half with surgical precision. The explosions light up the darkness of space. The Night Hunter stops playing games with enemy computers. Its weapons now target life support systems and crew compartments. Iron Claw ships begin to go dark as their crews are killed instantly. There are no more tricks or confusion, only efficient death. The ships that had been invisible reappear one final time. They are now inside the Iron Claw flagship itself, having somehow teleported past all defenses. They fire their weapons directly into the ship's core systems. Warlord Thane feels his flagship shake apart around him. Emergency alarms scream as his ship dies. He realizes too late that the humans had been holding back during the first battle. They could have destroyed his entire fleet in the first few minutes. Instead, they had chosen to disable his ships and offer him a chance to live. He had thrown that gift back in their faces. The flagship's bridge explodes. Thane dies knowing that his pride has doomed not just himself, but every warrior who followed him. The Iron Claw fleet is being wiped out because he could not accept defeat with honor. On Valoria Prime, Ambassador Kira watches in horror as the space battle becomes a slaughter. She had asked Earth for help, but she had not expected this level of violence. The humans are not just winning. They are completely annihilating their enemies. But then she notices something strange. The human ships are not attacking randomly. They are targeting specific Iron Claw vessels. the ones whose commanders chose to keep fighting. Ships that try to surrender are being spared. The humans are still offering mercy to those smart enough to take it. Several Iron Claw captains see what is happening to their fleet. They break formation and transmit surrender codes. These ships are immediately surrounded by human vessels but not attacked. Their crews are taken prisoner but not harmed. In the end, fewer than 40 Iron Claw ships escape the battle. They flee toward the edge of the system, carrying news of their defeat back to their homeworlds. The rest of the fleet is either destroyed or captured. Captain Stone contacts the Eloria Prime as the last enemy ship disappears into hyperspace. His voice is tired but satisfied. "Ambassador Kira, your world is safe. The Iron Claw will not return." Kira finds her voice after a long moment. "Captain Stone, we cannot thank you enough. You saved our entire civilization. But the cost? The cost was their choice, not ours." Stone replies, "We offered them mercy. They chose death instead. That is not our fault." The ambassador realizes that this is the real lesson about asking Earth for help. Humans will always honor their promises. They will always protect the innocent. But they will also show no mercy to those who choose violence over peace. Earth had delivered exactly what they promised. The price was paid by those who deserved it. The aftermath. 3 days after the battle, Captain Stone stands in the crystal gardens of Eloria Prime. The peaceful beauty of this world reminds him why humans fight. Places like this deserve to exist without fear. People like the Valorians deserve to live in peace. Ambassador Kira walks beside him through the glowing pathways. She has been trying to understand what happened in the space above her world. The battle lasted less than 2 hours, but it changed everything for her people. "Captain," she says quietly, "my people are grateful beyond words, but they are also afraid. We have seen what humans can do when angered. How do we know you will not turn that power against us someday?" Stone stops walking and looks at her with calm eyes. "Because you are not our enemies, Ambassador. You asked for help protecting innocent lives. That is something humans will always answer. But the Iron Claw also had families. They had worlds and people who cared about them. Did they all deserve to die?" The captain considers this question carefully. It is one that every human soldier asks themselves after battle. The Iron Claw chose to become raiders and killers. They chose to threaten peaceful worlds. When we offered them mercy, their leader chose death instead. We did not make that choice for them. Kira nods but still looks troubled. The other species in this sector are calling humans the new Iron Claw. They say you are just another group of conquerors who use superior weapons to dominate others. Stone's expression hardens slightly. This is the burden that humans carry throughout the galaxy. Every time they help someone, others assume they have hidden motives. Every time they show their strength, others fear they will abuse it. What do you think, Ambassador? Have we conquered your world? Have we demanded tribute or slaves? Have we claimed any territory or resources? No, Kira admits. You have asked for nothing. Your ships are already preparing to leave. But others say this is how conquerors work. They help one world to frighten 10 others into submission. Captain Stone turns to face her directly. Then let me tell you something about humans that the galaxy does not understand. We do not conquer because we do not want to rule. Ruling is boring. It requires paperwork and meetings and compromise. We prefer to explore and build and discover new things. He gestures toward the crystal formations around them. Your people have created something beautiful here. Why would we want to destroy it and replace it with something ugly? We came here to preserve beauty, not eliminate it. Kira begins to understand. You fight not to gain power, but to protect what already exists. Exactly. The Iron Claw wanted to destroy your civilization and enslave your people. That made them our enemies. But you and your people are creating art and growing gardens and living peaceful lives. That makes you our friends. The ambassador feels some of her fear fade away, but she has one more question. The other worlds are forming an alliance against Earth. They believe humans are too dangerous to be left unchecked. What will you do when they come for you? Stone smiles for the first time since the battle. The same thing we always do, Ambassador. We will offer them peace first. If they choose war instead, we will show them why that was a mistake. But we will not attack first, and we will not conquer their worlds afterward. Even if you could rule the entire galaxy. Especially then. Humans learned long ago that ruling others by force creates nothing but misery. We prefer to be friends with our neighbors, not their masters. As they walk back toward the capital city, Kira notices something that makes her smile. Human engineers are working alongside Valorian scientists to repair the orbital defense platforms damaged in the battle. They are not just fixing the old systems, they are improving them. But the improvements are not weapons. The humans are installing better sensors and communication arrays. They are building tools for exploration and scientific research. They are sharing technology that will help the Valorians defend themselves in the future. You are giving us the means to protect ourselves, Kira observes. Of course, if you can defend yourselves, you will not need to ask us for help again. That is better for everyone. But what if we use these tools to attack others? Stone looks at her with genuine surprise. Would you do that, Ambassador? Would your people choose to become raiders and conquerors? Kira thinks about her civilization's history of peace and art. Never. We could never live with ourselves if we caused suffering to others. Then you have nothing to worry about. Humans can always tell the difference between those who create and those who destroy. We help the creators and stop the destroyers. It really is that simple. As the human ships prepare to leave Valoria Prime, the galaxy watches and wonders what will happen next. The galaxy's choice. 6 months after the Battle of Valoria Prime, the Galactic Council meets in emergency session. Representatives from 200 worlds gather to discuss what they call the human problem. Fear has spread faster than news of the Iron Claw's defeat. Council leader Vex stands before the assembly. His species has ruled galactic politics for centuries through careful diplomacy and economic control. The sudden appearance of human military power threatens everything he has built. Fellow representatives, Vex begins, we face a crisis unlike any in our history. A single human fleet destroyed the Iron Claw in less than 2 hours. If they can do that to raiders, what could they do to us? Murmurs of agreement ripple through the chamber. Many species have built their civilizations on the assumption that no single world could challenge the established order. Earth has shattered that assumption completely. The representative from Korath Prime stands to speak. My world borders human territory. We have seen their ships passing through our space. They do not stop to trade or establish colonies. They simply appear and disappear like ghosts. What are they planning? Another voice calls out from the crowd. The humans gave advanced technology to the Valorians, weapons that could threaten any of our worlds. They are building allies for some future war. Vex nods gravely. This is why we must act now, before the humans become too powerful to stop. I propose we form a coalition fleet. We will demand that Earth submit to galactic authority or face the consequences. The debate continues for hours. Some representatives argue for diplomacy. Others demand immediate military action. A few suggest that the humans might not be enemies at all. But fear wins in the end, as it always does. The vote is close but decisive. The Galactic Coalition will assemble the largest fleet in recorded history. They will travel to Earth and demand submission. If the humans refuse, they will face war with 200 worlds. On Earth, Admiral Blake reads the Coalition's ultimatum in her office overlooking the Pacific Ocean. She has been expecting this message ever since Captain Stone's report reached Earth Command. The galaxy's response is predictable but disappointing. Her aide, Commander Ross, stands beside her desk. Admiral, they are demanding that we disarm our fleet and submit to their inspection. They want to control our technology and limit our expansion. How should we respond? Blake sets down the message and looks out at the ocean. Waves crash against the shore in endless rhythm. the same pattern that has continued for billions of years. Earth endures because it adapts, not because it conquers. Send Captain Stone back to Valoria Prime, she says quietly. Tell Ambassador Kira what is coming. Let her people decide if they want to stand with us or stay neutral. And our response to the coalition. Tell them the truth, Commander. Earth will not submit to threats. We will not disarm while raiders and tyrants exist in the galaxy. If they want war, they can have it. But remind them that we offered friendship first. 3 weeks later, the coalition fleet arrives at the edge of the Sol system. It is truly massive. Over 3,000 ships from every major civilization in the galaxy. The combined firepower could destroy entire star systems. Leading the fleet is Vex himself, aboard his flagship, Galactic Unity. He expects the humans to surrender immediately when they see the size of the force arrayed against them. No rational species would fight against such overwhelming odds. Instead, he receives a transmission from Admiral Blake. She appears on his screen wearing a simple Earth Defense Force uniform. Behind her, he can see the blue and green world that spawned humanity. Council Leader Vex, Blake says calmly, "You have brought an impressive fleet to our home system. But before you make any demands, I want you to understand something about humans. We do not respond well to threats." Vex is confident in his position. "Admiral Blake, you are facing the combined might of 200 worlds. Surrender now and your people will be treated fairly. Continue to resist and face complete destruction." Blake's expression does not change. "We have a counteroffer. Turn your fleet around and leave our system. Return to your worlds and tell them that Earth remains open to friendship and trade. Do this, and no blood will be shed today." The council leader almost laughs. "You are outnumbered 300 to 1. What possible threat could you pose to our fleet?" Blake's smile is cold and terrible. "Council leader, did you ever wonder why the Iron Claw was able to raid civilized worlds for so long without being stopped? It is because you built your civilizations around the idea that war is impossible between rational beings." She leans forward slightly. "Humans did not evolve to be rational. We evolved to survive. And right now, you are threatening our survival." The transmission ends, and the coalition fleet suddenly realizes they have made a terrible mistake.